Hi, people. Um, you are welcome to an English session, which will feature lesson on grammatical names and function. We started this a while back, so this is just a continuation of what we've been doing. In our last lesson, I told you what grammatical names are. I told you what grammatical function is. I told you um when to conclude is a part of a speech, when to say it's a phrase, when to say it's a clause. That's what I told you, right? And we started with now. So by now, you confident when to say it's a noun phrase, when to say it's a noun clause, right? You're confident. I know it's been a while, but you should remember. And I gave you an assignment. Yeah, I gave you an assignment. So today we are just going to continue the lesson. We're going to talk about functions of nouns, but let me just review one of the assignment with you. Maybe it will bring the memory back. He reasoned that leaving his retinue of wife, children, yeah. Do you remember that question? It's a past question. Of wives. It's interesting that you guys seem not to have this. Children. Servant and relative. Servants and relatives. Behind was not the best solution. Was not the best solution. Yeah, he reasoned that leaving his retinue of wives, children, servants, and relatives behind was not the best solution. Okay, so his retinue of wife, children, servants, and relative behind. Um, Good, you got that. Are you guys with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this was the first question, and I asked you what's a grammatical name. So what's a grammatical name given to the underlying words? So in our previous lesson, would you want to talk before you say you didn't allow us to talk, you just gave the answer. Would you want to talk, or I should help you remember everything I taught in our previous lesson? Choose one.
Sir, please let me try.
Go
Correct.
ahead.
Sir, busy and now free.
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
There's no clapping feature on the meeting. I would have clapped. All right. So now I'm gonna use that to. Can you kindly mute yourself now, Adam? Yeah,
Sir, please.
yeah, your microphone. You have to turn it off, Adam. Good. Yeah. So I'm gonna help you remember what we discuss all the time. What did we do? So I told you that basically look at the underlying words. If it's one, it's a part of a speech. That means your answer should be we learned, we resolved that four parts of speeches. So, meaning if the underlying words is one, you will just conclude as a noun, pronoun, adverb, and adjective. Now it's your business to figure out what to give to when, if it's a noun, pronoun, adverb, or adjective. That's your business. But last time we spoke about nouns, and I gave them many reasons to conclude it's a noun. So they have their reasons to say it's a noun. But again, look at the underlying words. If it's just one, it's either a noun, pronoun, adverb, or adjective. Just choose one of these. Okay. But if it's two or more, then say it's a phrase or a clause. So here the underlying words is clear. It's more than one, right? It's two and more. So it's the answer is what? A phrase or clause. Then now we have to choose one. Now, before I continue, I just want you to know that whether you like it or not, you will meet this coming April. You'll meet it in exam. It's coming. So you have to learn this once and for all. The previous lesson is on the channel. Just go to English language and you see that. So we have to choose one of these, right? Now, what distinguishes this two is a finite verb. A finite verb. Okay. If the underlying words has a finite verb, it's a clause. If it doesn't, it's a phrase. Okay. And I said for easier understanding, these verbs are often in their present tense or past tense states. So these finite verbs are often in the present tense or past tense what states. Finite verbs are mostly in present tense or past tense state, right? So let's check that underlying word if there is a finite verb. So there is no verb in the underlying words. You get what I mean? There's no verb to think of it being a finite verb or not. So I can't even talk about clause. So it's a phrase, right? Because I said if there is a finite verb, it's a clause. What if there's not? There is no verb to think of finite verb, so it's a phrase. You don't be confused. What's the underlying words? We have his, right? His is a pronoun. Retinue. Retinue is it should be a noun. Hold on. Yeah, a word can have more than one part of speech. So you have to look at how it is used in context before you can conclude. Yeah, so retinue refers to like group of people who follow or accompany an important person, right? So I mean that should be a noun. Okay. Now, of is a preposition. Wife, children, servants, all these are nouns. Relatives are all nouns, right? Behind is a preposition. So there is no verb, right? To talk about it being a finite verb. So it's a phrase, okay? Now, what kind of phrase is that? So it's a noun phrase because we're talking about, I mean, so far from the start of our lesson, we've talked about just noun, so it's a noun. So it's a noun phrase. Now, I give them reasons to conclude it's a noun. So we said that nouns answers the question what. So look, just read the whole sentence. Subtract his retinue of wife, children, servants, and relative behind. Let's read that without it. He reasoned that leaving what? Leaving his retinue of wife, children, you get that. So it answers the question what? That makes it what a noun. Yeah. So it's a noun phrase. That's all. Do you have any question? Now you have to refer to our previous lesson for extensive understanding. Any question? Okay, so
Yes,
today we will be talking about functions of nouns. Yeah, because the question comes in two folds. After they've asked you to outline the grammatical name, it will ask for grammatical function, which you don't know. So we're going to learn that now. I'll take my assignment in our next class. So functions of nouns. So right, functions of nouns. Nouns have five basic functions. Nouns have five basic functions. Are you ready? Nouns have 5 basic. Confirm if you are with us. Namely, can you guys hear me?
Yes, please.
All right,
Yes,
namely,
sir, please, you can hear you.
all right, I, subject, let me make it legible. Subject of the verb I, object of the verb complement of the verb IV, object of the preposition right? Object, right? Of the preposition V in a position with. Okay. So these are the functions of the noun. So just write it the way it is. Can we can we continue?
Yes, sir, please, you can continue.
All right. So right now we have to understand these functions. To understand this better, we have to look at um positions of nouns in sentences. Okay, that will help us to get the functions better. So let's start with subject of the verb. Subject of the verb. So let's look at some examples. So number one, what I told you is my problem. What I told you. Okay, let me know when you guys are done.
Please, you are done.
Okay. Now you see, when we're talking about grammatical names, I kept telling you that when we're talking about grammatical names, I was telling you look at just concentrate on the underlying words. I told you that. Okay. Now, when it's about grammatical functions, please consider the rest of the sentence. Okay. One is grammatical names. I've been telling you to concentrate on the underlying words. Forget about the rest of the sentence, right? It's within the underlying words you should locate your finite verb, right? But you see in the functions, you see the preposition, the verb, you get it. Those verbs must be taken from the rest of the sentence, not the underlying words. Okay, so in I, which part is the rest of the sentence? Reread that to us. Right, so it's my problem is the rest of the sentence. Now, that's where you should take the verb from. Right? Now, what is a verb in the rest of? Well, I want you to know that there may be several verbs in the rest of the sentence. Take the verb that is closer to the underlying word. Okay, over here, there is not. really, there is no other verb other than is. Is a verb. If you join my first meeting, you will know is a verb. So the verb in the rest of the sentences is. Now, usually when your underlying word is coming before is, it acts as a subject. Got it? So this becomes subject of the verb is. Don't add any more words, just go straight to the point. Subject of the verb. So if you are being asked, that usually is the second question. The first question is what's the grammatical name? So if you are being asked what's the grammatical function, just say subject of the verb. Then you put the verb in inverted commas. Is. That's all. So when it comes before the verb, it acts as what? Subject, right? I can give you more. The list. You see, last time I was telling you when it begins with what, it's enough reason to conclude it's a noun, right? So, like, it's a noun. This very example is a noun clause. To anyone who want to write, you can be writing that if it's your first time. The list of books was printed by the secretary. So, the list of books. So, what is the grammatical function? Any of you can try.
Hey, can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
Subject of the verb was.
Good. So actually, yeah, I know you based on what I just taught you. Cool. So I want to also let you know that you see, I told you there might be a lot of verbs, right? Choose the one that is closer to the underlying word. So what is closer, which is cool. But you see, printed is also there, right? And the two is not disconnected. So please say everything. Subject of the verb was printed. Do you understand? But assuming, let's say it was by or something, like there is a word in between that disconnects them, then just write subject of the verb was. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But the fact that we have two verbs, it's not disconnected, they are just there. See everything. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
If they are disconnected, something sets them apart, then you write which one is closer. So what will be your function now? Repeat it.
Subject of the verb was printed.
Good. Or the verb was printed. If you're not here for the grammatical name, don't worry. You can go and watch it, but make sure you are approved with the functions and you'll be good. I think with some explanations I'm still giving, you should be okay. So at the time when it's function, take it, consider the rest of the sentence to take your verb from the rest of the sentence. All right, let's look at another one. So the highlighter was deleted ultimately. What's a function? You finish writing and you can't tell. So again, in exam, coming April, in exam, you meet this, okay? And it's under comprehension, under the passage, they'll give you a sentence and will ask you what's the grammatical name. And the next question will be what's the grammatical function? So what we're doing, we're not doing it for fancy reasons, for you to answer that accurately. And very often, they bring nouns because nouns have 5 functions, so they can ask you questions anywhere, right? They can assess you in any style they want, unlike the other grammatical names that has just singular function, one function. Their function can be deduced from their names. Yeah. Nouns have 5. So we check the past question. You see a lot of questions on nouns. All right. Enough talking. What's your response to this?
Subject of the verb was.
Subject.
Second, I
No, that's a half solution. Go ahead.
Subject of the verb was deleted.
Yeah, was
yeah.
deleted. I just said something. You did not listen. Explain to her.
Lisa said if there is no word like separating the two um the two,
The two verbs.
the two verbs, then you have to add it to the other one.
Yeah. So we said look at the verbs, the verb closer to the underlying word. But here, the verbs closer, we have was, and of course, there is deleted. It's cool you choose was, but I'm saying if there is no word separating these two verbs, write everything. I just said it in a previous example. So, for instance, was, let's say the sentence was by deleted or something, was by deleted. Okay, you see, this case, the two verbs are separated, was by, they are separated by something. And that thing is not even a verb. If it was a verb, I'll write all the three. You get what I mean. But what is in between is not, it's not a verb, right? And it's disconnecting the two verbs. So it gives you the opportunity to write the verb that is closer to the underlying words. But until then, if it's three verbs, they are not disconnected by something, which is not a verb, I'll write everything. It's as simple as that. Listen to instructions. But that was a good try. So let's look at another one. The wonderful girl is indisposed. The wonderful girl. What's the grammatical function?
Please, I can't see the last word.
Indisposed.
Okay, so
Indisposed. It means she's sick. Indisposed. What's the function?
The
Mhm.
subject of the verb is
Good. Because indisposed is sick. So if someone is sick, it doesn't mean that it's a noun. It's a verb. Okay. So subject of the verb is in inverted commas. I said just write it the way it is. Don't try to add more sentences. Okay, this is the last one, then we move to the next. Isaac is my name. What's the grammatical function?
Subject of the verb is.
Subject of the verb is. Remember, you can only use these functions when the grammatical name is a noun. Do not attempt to talk about subject, object, complement when the underlying words is an adjective or an adverb. Don't ever. I see students doing that. You write adjective or adjectival phrase for grammatical name and you dare talk about subject, object for functions. These are only functions of nouns. And obviously, everything I've written here, it's a noun, right? It's in a category of noun, right? Isaac is what? A noun, isn't it? The wonderful girl. If you come and tell me, say, it's indisposed, what is indisposed? Is it answering the question what? Yes, the wonderful girl. It's answering the question what, right? So it's also a noun, it's two or more words. So it's a noun phrase. There is no finite verb, it's a noun phrase. Or even if you don't want to use what, last time I told you that nouns often commence with an article there, an, right? And you can see the articles over there, right? What is the article there? In the underlying word, it's starting with an article, right? Which is the. So that's why now. The next one, the highlighted words was deleted ultimately. What was deleted ultimately? The highlighted what? Words, right? And it's starting with what? The, isn't it? It's also another reason to see is so that's a noun clause. And like that. So it's a noun, and that's why it's in a category of noun. If it's not a noun, it's a noun phrase, it's a noun clause. So that's why you are free to talk about subject, object, complement. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
The next one. Object of the verb. Okay. So we'll start with some examples. I. The man killed the cat. The cat. Let me know when you are there and let's talk about that.
That please, you can continue.
All right, so now if the underlying words is after, if the underlying words is after the verb, you see, I said the verb, when it's functions, talk about the rest of the sentence, right? When I talk about the verb, look at the rest of the sentence. Look at the rest of the sentence. Okay. Now, if your underlying word is after the verb, please it acts as object. For now, it acts as what? Object. There is a lot of technicality. So going forward, I'll expand on that. But I'll not give you those kind of questions that actually means something different, okay, for functions. So yeah, the underlying word is coming after the verb, so it's acting as an object. So who will tell me the function for this one? What's the function? The cat. What's the function?
Sir,
Object
Mhm.
of the verb killed.
Yeah. Patience is hard to be a prefect and everyone is not talking and you have to do the talking all by yourself. Don't worry. Next time I'll remove all of them. They watched an exciting soccer match. Let's look at this one. They watched an oh, they watched an exciting soccer match. I have to pause. Do you guys understand what we are doing? Let me know.
Yes, sir, please, you understand.
Yes, please.
Everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so what will be the function? The underlying word start from an exciting. It start from an.
Sir, please, subject of the verb was.
Yeah, what's that? Subject. What did you say?
Object of the verb
Object
watch.
of the verb watch. When the underlying word starts
Object.
after, yeah, when the
Yes, sir.
underlying word comes after the main verb, it acts as what? Object. Right? Yeah, so this is what?
Yes, sir.
Object of the verb. Okay, so object of the verb watched, right? Watched. Always take the verb from the rest of the sentence. Then take the name, the for grammatical name, you see you will be looking for finite verb to make a justification. So for the grammatical name, you look at the finite verb from the underlying words. Okay. He enjoys, and by the way, you see it's a noun, right? It's also a noun. See, it's starting with an article. What article was it starting with? I said the English article are there, and etc. It's starting with an, right? So that alone should tell you the underlying words is a noun something. It's two or more. So this is a noun phrase. Huh?
Sir,
Yes. You're calling me or you're saying yes.
you are saying yes.
Okay. He enjoys reading historical novels. 1 second. Let me underline reading. This is also a noun, right? Because if you try to cover that, he enjoys. Say he enjoys what? Oh, he enjoys reading his. You see, he answers the underlying words answers the question what. So it's a noun, right? Okay. No, don't just say now, please. The underlying word I said if it's two or more, it's a noun phrase or clause, right? And you know how to choose between phrase and clauses. But from here, it's a noun phrase. Refer to the previous lesson and you will get what I mean when grammatical names and stuff, right? So it's up to you to tell me the function.
So please, object of the verb enjoys.
Correct. We'll wait for everybody to be on the same page with us.
Sir, please, you can continue.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Sir, please, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just sending an email. Sorry about that. All right, let's continue. All right, Ivy. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's look at another one. So look at this. The teacher gave, the teacher gave the hardworking student working. Hardworking student a special award. So the hardworking student. So what's a grammatical function?
Sir, please, object of the verb give.
Exactly. Object of the verb give, yeah. Yeah, object of the verb. Who is lost? Object of the verb give. Okay, so I think, yeah, I will pause here for questions. Those writing too can carry on.
Sir, please, you are done writing.
All right. Okay, so let's look at another one. All right, let's look at another one. So let's go to complement of the verb. Complement of the verb. All right, so let's look at this example. Now, I want us to look at these two before, for you to have a better understanding of this. She, or Hannah is my sister. Right, my sister. Let's look at this one. Hannah saw my sister. My sister. Guys, in these two examples, I want us to talk about the number of parties being discussed here. How many parties are we discussing in I? How many parties are we talking about in II? Any
Sir,
volunteer?
please, I can't hear what you are saying.
I'm saying that how many items or people are we talking about in I? How many people are we talking about in II?
Sir, I is one, and I is two. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Does anyone have a different perspective about this?
No, sir.
Yeah, so in Hannah is my sister. We are talking about one person, right? Hannah saw my sister. We are talking about two people. Who are they? Hannah and what? My sister. Let me know if you're confused. So if the number of items, it's not always persons because nouns not just don't basically talk about things or people. It even talks about ideas, right? So if the number of items we are discussing is one, then that part which is underlined, you would have said object of the verb. Please pause. So don't say object of the verb. Say complement of the verb. If the number of items we're talking about is one, everything is just one item or person or things, right? See complement of the verb. Okay. So over here, I know my sister, you would have just said what? Object of the verb. But the number of pathways here is what? One, right? So you see the you see don't say objects, you see complement of what? Of the verb of complement of the verb what? My sister, right? You there?
Sir,
Hello?
please, you are there. Yes,
Yeah,
sir,
so
please, you are
that's
there.
it. Then what would you see? Your usual thing, object of the verb. Maybe I should write it for you. Object of the verb what? So,
So,
hey, did I say complement of the verb, my sister? And you guys didn't object to that.
there is.
Yes,
We are
yeah.
trying to tell you.
It's a okay. So let's see. Let's see. 1 second, guys. So I guess we have to do more. Look at this one. So the woman is my mother. My mother. What's the grammatical function? I'll be waiting for you guys.
Say
Yeah. Say it's not an answer.
complement of the verb
Sir, please,
is
complement of the.
Oh, someone is on the floor. Let's see.
complement of the verb is
Yeah, that's correct. So write that. Complement of the verb is. Yeah. Okay, so how about this one? What I told you should remain a secret. Um, should remain a secret. Function, please.
Sir, please, complement of the verb you. Or
Hold on. I think the underlying words. No. I I underlined the wrong words. I wanted to underline a secret. Sorry. A secret. A secret. What's a grammatical function?
sir, please, complement of the verb should remain or remain.
No, be specific.
Should remain.
Yes, anyone else? Anyone else? That's correct though. So compliment you are not sure.
Say the same thing.
I'm not sure.
After I've said the answer. Okay. After I've confirmed the answer. The complement of the verb remain. Okay. Oh, sorry, should remain. Okay, so that's far. That's far.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's far. We've come to conclude that when the underlying word is after the main verb, we have to think three times, right? Because it could be object or it could be complement. In our next lecture, I will actually let you know that you still have to think one more time on a different subject, okay? Before you even conclude object complement. We'll talk about another thing, okay, in our next lecture. Let me know if you have any question. I was running this lesson with you for just an hour because I have an appointment to make. Yes. Let me know if you have any question. Any question? So this brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you for having me. Tomorrow, Mr. Prince will be meeting you. Then I'll meet you in a subsequent day. Take care. Let me end the recording.
Okay.